Hi, welcome to Easy Math. My name is Ishan, and now we're going to do the questions which are related to indices and surds from the baseline worksheet. And again, we're going to do question number 13, 14, 15, and these three questions. Remember, for you to get around these questions, these are a few rules that you want to be good at. These. I'm going to go use these rules for those questions, and we'll see how they come along. Okay, so we go look at the first one. The first one happens to be the 13th one, happens to be a little easier. uh, we're going to use the product rule and the power rule for this. Okay, so we'll see. Let's take them across. Let's see. There. And okay, let's see. So you go for the part a cube b, a to the power of 4, b to the power of 3 multiplied, but you simply add the powers on a and the powers on b, because that is what it says in the product rule. So it's going to be a very simple a to the power of 7, b to the power of 4. Well, part b, where things are being divided, you use the quotient rule. A to the power of m by a to the power of n is supposed to be a to the power of m minus n. If you are given 6a 5, I think that's 6a5, b to the power of 4 divided by 2a cube b square. Well, 6 divided by 2 is a 3. A power 5, a power 3 gonna become 8 power 2, b power 4 and 2 gonna become a b power 2, only because of m minus n thing. 5 minus 3, 2, 4 minus 2, 2, and that's your answer. Okay, let's look at the part C. Part C, we're gonna use this one. Fourth rule and the power rule together. So negative 3a cube b to the power of 5 whole to the power of 3. Using the fourth rule, they're going to be negative 3 to the power of 3, a cube to the power of 3, and b to the power of 5 whole to the power of 3. Now the power rule, negative 3 to the power of 3 is a negative 27, a to the power of 3 to the power of 3 is a to the power of 9, and b to the power of 15. There's no rule required for negative 3 to the power of 3. It's a very nice negative 27. Everybody knows 3 to the power of 3, 9, and 5 to the power of 3, 15. That's your answer for the part C. Let's look at the part D now. Part D is where you have two a square b divided by b cube to the power of 3 divided by 16a to the power of 5 by ab to the power of 7. Well, the first thing you want to do here in this question is to change that division into multiplication. The moment you do that, the fraction that you have on the right is going to flip. You're going to write a reciprocal of it, ab to the power of 7 and 16a to the power of 5. And now you can use the rule number 4 and 3 combined to simplify the first bracket. The first bracket here is going to be 2 cube a square to the power of 3 b to the power of 3 divided by b cube to the power of 3. And now you get a 8 a to the power of 6 b to the power of 3 b to the power of 9. Why? Because of the power rule, m into n to the power a to the power of 2 to the power of 3 becomes a to the power of 6, only because a to the power of m to the power of n is a to the power of mn. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this sheet on the left and keep it with you for reference in practice. And then there is 8b to the power of 7 and 16a to the power of 5 there. Now, on the numerators, it's going to become a 8, 6 here, and a to the power of 1 there, a to the power of 7, 3 on b and 7 on b, a to b to the power of 10, and then you have 16, a to the power of 5 and b to the power of 9. You can use the quotient rule now. 8 by 16 is a very nice 1 by 2, 1 by 2, a to the power of 7 and a to the power of 5, you're going to get a square, and b to the power of 10 and 9, 10 minus 9 is just a 1. So you are going to end up with a square b divided by 2. This and this can be, I mean, you can literally write it like that. No problem at all. A square b by 2. That was 13th question, the entire 13th question. And of course, again, go to the Shingley book, do the review exercise. First few questions based on indices and surds, you should be able to get around this topic. Now we go to the 14th one. There it is, your 14th one. Let's not take the whole thing. Only this much of it is enough. There. Okay. For the part A here, the rule that we are going to use is over here. And these two we're going to use. Nth root of A is supposed to be A raised to a 1 by N. That's the rule we're going to use. Fifth root of, P cube is P to the power of 3 whole to the power of 1 by 5. And now the power rule, 3 into 1 by 5, that becomes P to the power of 3 over 5. There it is. And that's your first part there. And we're looking at cube root of 8p now. Well, cube root of 8p is 8p to the power of 1 by 3. That's 8 to the power of 1 by 3 and p to the power of 1 by 3. 8 to the power of 1 by 3 is 2 cube to the power of 1 by 3 because 8 is 2 cube, and p to the power of 1 by 3. 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 1 by 3 is 2 to the power of 3 into 1 by 3. And of course, that becomes 2p to the power of 1 by 3. That's it. So that is it for the first part. Now we're going to have to multiply both of them. So for this one, it's p to the power of 3 by 5 multiplied by 2 to the power of 1 by 3 to p to the power of 1 by 3. And 2 as it is, p to the power of 3 by 5 plus a 1 by 3 is what you're going to get. It becomes a 2 to the power of 15 LCM. 9 plus 5, that's a 2p to the power of 14 by 15. Okay. Now you go to the part B. Okay, we are given p to the power of minus 3, q to the power of 3 by 5, whole raised to a negative 2 by 3, multiplied by p4 by 5, q negative 2 by 3, whole cube. Well, I use the power rule again and the fourth rule again. You're going to get a p minus 3 raised to a that q 3 by 5 raised to a negative 2 by 3, p 4 by 5 raised to a 3, and q minus 2 by 3 raised to a 3. Well, the power rule now, minus 3 into 2 by 3, 3 by 5 into negative 2 by 3, 4 by 5 into 3, and q, oh, sorry, that's not a q, it's a p. And q minus 2 by 3 into 3. Now that's going to be a negative 2 here. Okay, so negative 3 and 3 cancel out. You get a minus 1. These two cancel out. You get a minus 1. Minus 1 multiplies with the minus 2. You get a plus 2. Here, 3 and 3 cancel out. You get a negative 2 by 5. Here, it's going to be a 12 by 5. And here, it's going to be a negative 2. And then you can go add up the powers on p because they're being multiplied. You end up with a p to the power of 22 by 5 and q to the power of minus 2 by 5 minus a 2. Well, that is going to be p to the power of 22 by 5 into q to the power of negative 2, negative 10 divided by 5. Well, p to the power of 22 by 5 into q to the power of negative 12 by 5. Well, the thing to notice here in the question is that they have asked for us to keep the answers in positive index. We have a negative 12 by there, 12 by 5 there, not allowed. So we are going to use this rule now. A to the power of minus n is 1 by a to the power of n. So you get a p to the power of 12 by 5, 22 by 5, and 1 by q to the power of 12 by 5 is what you're going to get. Now you can make them come together. There's a 22 by 5 divided by q to the power of 12 by 5. That's your answer for the question. Remember, seventh rule is going to be useful in the last step where they don't want you to come up with negative indices. You can see only positive index is what they wanted. A negative 12 by 5 is not allowed. You're going to go create a reciprocal. Because there's a negative, it's going to get a 1 by q and a positive 12 by 5 there. And now you can combine the two. This is what your answer should be. And of course, there are a lot of ways to go from there, but this is the most reasonable one out of so many possibilities. You can simplify it, but no need as of now. Okay, so we go do the other one. Let's see. Where is the other thing? Bring it here. Okay, now let's see. Okay, we're looking at question number C now. You go p to the power of 2 by 3 into q to the power of negative 2 by 5 whole divided by p square q to the power of minus 1 by 5 whole raised to a minus 3. What to do here? Well, I'm going to write the numerator just like it is. But the denominator, I'm going to write them like that first. Now you get a p to the power of 2 by 3 q to the power of negative 2 by 5 divided by p to the power of negative 6 multiplied by q to the power of minus 1 by 5 into minus 3. That's a positive 3 by 5. Now you're going to get p to the power of 2 by 3. There's a negative 6 down here. Since these two are being divided, 2 by 3 minus of negative 6 is what you're going to get on p. Again, the reason is the quotient rule, m minus n. M minus n is what you're gonna get, and then you go negative 2 by 5 minus a 3 by 5. Well, that comes out to be 2 by 3 plus a 6 into q to the power of minus 5 by 5. That's a 2p to the power of 20 by 3 and a q to the power of minus 1. So, well, if 2 by 3 plus a 6 coming to a 20 by 3 is a problem for you, it's gonna be a problem, because at this level of math, we can't struggle with addition of fractions like these. Don't do silly mistakes there, or maybe try to learn some of it by yourself and come up with the right answer. So that was about your C thing. Now let's do the part D. What you get in the part D is p to the power of minus 1 by 3 q square to the power of 5 into cube root of 27 p to the power of minus 3 q square. Okay. So again, p to the power of minus 1 by 3 whole to the power of 5 q square to the power of 5 into, that is a 27p minus 3q square raised to a 1 by 3. Well, that can be written as p to the power of minus 5 by 3 into q to the power of 10 into 27 to the power of 1 by 3 into p to the power of minus 3 into 1 by 3 into q to the power of 2 into 1 by 3. That's what's going to happen. And I'm missing a few steps here only because we have seen those steps quite a lot of times now. And there it is. 27 to the power of 1 by 3 is 3 cubed to the power of 1 by 3. Well, that is 3 to the power of 3 into 1 by 3. Well, that's 3 itself, multiplied by p to the power of minus 3 into 1 by 3 is a minus 1, and q to the power of 2 by 3 is what you get. I'm going to replace that 3 cubed to the power of 1 by 3 with just a 3, and I explained it why. There it is. And now you go, there's a p here, there's a p there, minus 5 by 3, minus a 1, and a 3, and a q to the power of 10 plus 2 by 3. Well, that's gonna be 3p to the power of minus 8 by 3, q to the power of 32 by 3. You can't have negative powers, so you're gonna do that divided by p to the power of 8 by 3. Well, that's your answer for the part D. Again, that was the 14th question. You wait for a while. I'm going to take you to the Shingley book where I'll show you some questions that you can do which are similar. Okay, now we go for the 15th one. Okay. The trick for the 15th one is to know that if a to the power of b is equal to a to the power of c, the only possibility is for b to be equal to c. We're going to use this idea. You have a 16 to the power of a and 8 on the problem number A. I'm going to bring what you have on the left and what you have on the right, both to the powers of 2. 16 is a 2 to the power of 4. 8 is a 2 to the power of 3. Well, we come to a place where 2 to the power of 4a is a 2 to the power of 3 and 4a is a 3, which means a equals to 4 over 3. That's it. Okay, now let's look at this one. Part B. Well, a to the power of 0 is supposed to be a 1 if you can look at the rule number 8. 2015 raised to a b is a 1. There's only one possibility for b to be equal to 0. Only then is something like that possible. 2015 to a 0 is going to be equal to a 1. If it was maybe a 739 to a power of b equals 1, the answer would again be just a b equal to 0 here. Now, this one is interesting. Part C. 10 to the power of c divided by 10 is a 0.01. Okay. 10 to the power of c divided by 10 to the power of 1 is equal to 0.01. Well, 0.01 is 1 divided by 100. Well, that's 1 divided by 10 square. Well, if I use this rule, 1 by a to the power of minus n is a to the power of n, or a to the power of minus n is a 1 by a to the power of n. You can actually see me walking back from here to that part. 1 by a to the power of n, 1 by 10 to the power of 2 is 10 to the power of minus 2, 10 to the power of minus 2. That's what you have on the left. On the right, on the left, you have 10 to the power of c minus 1. And that should be equal to a negative 2. C minus 1 is a minus 2. This and this can only be equal if c minus 1 is a minus 2. C comes out to be a minus 2 plus 1. That's a minus 1. That's it. C is a minus 1. That's your answer for this one. 0.01 is a 1 by 100. Remember. Okay, now we go do the part D. 2 to the power of d minus 6 divided by 2 is equal to 2 to the power of 9. That's what you have here. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a 2 to the power of d minus 6 upon 2 to the power of 1. That's 2 to the power of d minus 6 minus 1. And there it is. D minus 7 is a 9 and d equals 16. That's your answer. These are the questions. Wait, I'll show you the Shingley book where you can see some similar questions. Well, see, you go to the 95th page on this book. There it is. 95th page on this book. You go do, so this question was there in the worksheet. You can do this one, this one, this one, this one, this one also. This was there in the worksheet. And maybe you can do this one. This one also. This one was on the worksheet. So these should be good enough, no? I'll put up the link of this book for people to download it. I'm also sending them to the people who are in contact with me on WhatsApp. That's it. That's it. That's for indices and surds. Now we're going to do other questions in straight line graphs and coordinate geometry and all. I'll see you. Bye bye.